Bam. What's up, YouTube? Shiani here. How's everybody doing today? Liars. So you guys, long time no story time. Long time no story time. So, I want to tell a little story. And so I figured I'd make a video on it. So, today's video is about one of my worst fears in the whole world. So I'm flying a lot or whatever. For work, to go see my family, because I'm homesick all the time. You know what people say all the time? The more you fly, the easier it gets. Bullshit. Ugh. The more you fly, the more crazy experiences you experience. I don't want to shut anyone down from flying, but it's so true. You just, you know, people have freak stories. The more you fly, you get to experience some of those stories. So, about a month and a half ago, I've had a lot of crazy airplane stories. So this is my worst one. Number one. There's about 7 of them. One where the plane actually caught fire. But this one is not about that. So, about a month and a half ago, I'm homesick. I need to go see my family. So I call my mom and say, hey, I'm on a flight. She's like, all right, cool. You know, Rachel or somebody will pick you up, mom, or, you know, your brother. I'm leaving on a nice little morning flight. I have my coffee. I'm on my coffee. I'm on my coffee like it's a drug. And I call an Uber and I'm heading to the airport. You know, it's a beautiful day. It's not windy. I get scared sometimes when you fly in bad weather. And so, yeah. So sometimes I've even canceled flights. If there's bad weather or I feel like there's rain, I cancel it. Because the more turbulence, I sweat out my hands. I ask the person next to me, you know, can we say a prayer? Because, I don't know, you know what I mean. They say it's safer in the air than it is on the ground, but if some of us aren't in control of the situation, then, you know, we feel like crazy. When I get on the jetway, I go down the jetway, and right before I get to the plane, I put my right hand on the plane, and I say, and I do it fast, and I'm like, dear Lord, please, you know, thank you for getting me to my destination safely. Thank you for protecting this plane and everything being safe. Amen. And I get on the plane. I've done that for 10 years. I always put my hand on the plane and I say a little prayer because it works. And I sit down in the seat. I do my normal thing where I call my mom and my dad and I say I'm taking off. I'll call you when I land. I've done that ever since I've flown for the past 673 years. And so I say, you know, I love you, I'll call you when I land, blah, 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 blah. Plane's about to take off, everything's fine, everything's normal. It's a 757, I love planes. But part of me is scared of flying, but I love the fact that this big, freaking huge object can go in the air. It's insane, if you think about it. Human beings are amazing to make a freaking plane. So, okay, before the plane takes off and it's heading down the runway and we're getting faster and faster, I put my hands on the hands rest and I say another prayer. Dear Lord, I just pray that this plane and everything and everyone in it is safe. Thank you for getting me there safely. Amen. We take off. I'm good. Sometimes a little turbulence. I start sweating out my hands anytime there's a little turbulence. I can't help it. I see other people like reading their book and doing this and doing this, and I'm like, I don't know how the hell they're able to stay so calm. Whatever. You would think I fly so much that eventually I would be not a big baby. I would say we're about 3.5, 4 hours into the flight. It's smooth. I think I had a Jack and Ginger, and I was on my computer working on music and working on stuff. You know, every time I'm on the plane, I like to organize my life. Because sometimes, like, all of these wires and shit that I need to organize. Ugh. So when I'm on the plane, because I have ADD, I can sit there and I have to organize my stuff. So 3.5 hours, 4 hours in the flight. All of a sudden, sitting there, everything's normal. On my computer, the plane goes from this to this. We're sitting there and all of a sudden the plane, the nose dives and you hear the engine screaming. The whole plane is shaking. I'm sweating. Everyone on the plane's like, oh my God, and there's all these noises and people crying. Now people are crying. And 20 seconds into it, we're still going down. No, nothing's coming on the loudspeaker. And I'm like, this is it. This is it, you know? I've had a good life. You know, I'm praying. I asked the lady next to me as we're going down. She's holding the thing. Suitcases are falling out of the top, hitting people on the head. Drinks are spilling. My drink went all over the place. People's drinks are flying, and the plane is just going down. 757. That's a big ass plane. That's like 200 and some people. 200 and I think 80. 212, something like that. So, and the engines are screaming, and I'm like, holy shit. And I can't help it. I start crying. You know, people are crying, people are screaming, and I was like, what the hell is going on? The plane, it was one of the smoothest flights. Smooth criminal, like Michael Jackson. Smooth flight, and oh, we're going down. So I grabbed the lady's hand next to me, I grabbed the other person's hand after me, and I'm like, dear Lord, please let everything be fine. Please let this plane, the nose pull up. Please, you know, and I can't help it, I'm crying and everything. So about, I would say this happened for about a minute. When you're up that high, a minute feels like a year. So going, and all of a sudden the plane goes, wow, like this, and levels out, but like dips down, and everybody, like the force of the pressure was like pushing your head down, and it was like, whoo, like this. All of us are like, oh my God, and people are like, you know, rubbing their heads because shit fell off the things, and I was like, oh my God, what the hell just happened? So the pilot comes on within 2 seconds of after, now maybe 5 seconds of after leveling out. Pilot comes on and says, we all apologize for, he says, we apologize for the immediate descent. They said, but the air pressure in the cabin got to an erratic rate, and they said if they did not take the plane to a lower altitude, that there could have been a major catastrophe in the air. Which means, because airplanes are pressurized, that if the pressure gets to be so big, it basically could just go, hope I'm not scaring any of you. Yeah, but it is safer to fly in a plane than it is on the ground. But I guess something went wrong in the system. They descended as soon as they could. They didn't have time to tell us what was going on. I guess they just had to do it. Anyway, sweating. I am drenched in sweat because the feeling of like, this is it. Which is crazy, you know. I mean, ugh, it's my worst fear in the whole world is to go down like that. So, ugh, I'm telling you, it was scary. Thank the good Lord that pilot knew what the hell he was doing. So they said we had to make an emergency land in Indianapolis, Indiana, and we did. And when we landed, I got off the plane. They got everybody off the plane because all of us had to switch planes because that plane wasn't able to go up back in the air anymore. I wasn't gonna get on that sucker even if they fixed it. So I call my mom. I can't help it. I'm crying. I'm like, it was the scariest situation ever. I feel like I need to take a train to you or something. I don't think I can get on another plane right now. I feel crazy. Oh my God, I felt crazy. And other people were shook up and nervous, and some ladies were crying, and some guys were crying, and I was one of the guys crying. This is not how, you know, I want shit to end. So they ended up putting us on another flight. You know, I said a prayer with my parents before I got on the plane, and we went up, and luckily it was not that long of a flight. I think it was an hour and a half, 2 hours, and I landed. But again, I'm telling you, when you don't have control of a situation, especially that, there's nothing you can do about it. It's like, what do you do? There's nothing you can do. But that was one of my worst flights. Yeah, that kind of tops them all off. But like I said, it is safer to fly than it is to be on the ground in your car, because there's so much other shit that could go, and it is safer. But oh my God, y'all, just, you got to make sure you're all prayed up when you get on a plane. All prayed up when you go anywhere. And anyway, so yeah, I basically almost kicked the bucket. Anyway, that's my scary plane story. I hope you enjoyed it. I figured I'd get on here and tell it because it just happened recently, you know, which is crazy. I mean, I have a lot of other stories about planes, but I don't want to scare y'all. You'll never go anywhere. All right. You guys, thanks for watching. And I'm glad to be, you know, telling my stories. And I hope you all have a good day. And and what do we do? Bam!